Hey guys, my name is Jordan Enriquez and I am an extended second year PT student. I say extended because I took a leave of absence and I restarted this summer semester. I thought I would show you how I study for finals. Specifically in this video, I'll be going over how I studied for my neuro practical and final exam. The first thing I have is a practical over vestibular rehab. Basically, we have to read a case or watch a video of a patient interview, and based on the information presented, we have to determine evaluation questions, initial thoughts, priority tests and measures, a PT diagnosis, and treatment. And as you can tell, I don't necessarily have the greatest posture when it comes to desk work. You probably notice that I'm moving my head up and down and side to side because I'm just trying to understand the different motions that correspond with the semicircular canals in your ear. Sometimes you just have to learn by doing things, and I am somewhat of a kinesthetic learner, meaning I have to learn with hands-on actions or tactile cues. You'll see later on in the video that I like to study in different areas of my house. During this quarantine, I get quite bored with studying in one area, so I try to change it up. I remember hearing a fact that where you take your test and where you study can help you remember things, so I eventually switch over to studying in the same room where I will be taking my final exams. One of the techniques I heavily use when I am studying is active recall. In this case, I am writing and going over the big picture stuff on my tiny whiteboard, and in the right clip, I will go back in with another colored dry erase marker and I will list down the things that I forgot. create my own study guides to condense 60 slide PowerPoint lectures into 6 pages, so it doesn't seem like I have to read as much. Here you will see that I am comparing my study guide notes with some of the vestibular rehab cases that we went over in class. I use my 10.5-inch iPad Pro and first generation Apple Pencil to help me in my studies a lot. I saved some money by purchasing my iPad on Black Friday, but Apple has a great back to school incentive where you can get the iPad at a discounted rate, but also get some really cool stuff like AirPods. Again, this is another form of active recall. Here I'm using a Quizlet set that my peer from the previous cohort created and the Notes app that's included with the iPad to answer the flashcards. I prefer writing down the answers as opposed to verbally saying it because it keeps me accountable for answering incorrectly. It can be helpful to look at the term and recall the definition, but in this case it's also good to look at the definitions, or in this case the list of symptoms, because that's probably what you're going to see on the exam. You're not going to see the question, what are the symptoms of Meniere's disease? The question is going to be, the patient presents with vertigo, hearing loss, tinnitus, and what's the diagnosis? Now I am done with my practical and it is Thursday and we have more neuro to study. Hooray! The lecture that I'm going to be studying now is Cerebellar Disorders, which is a third of my final exam. For this, I just studied one page at a time, and then I would write on my iPad whatever I could recall from memory with blue ink. And again, I will go back in and write the things that I missed in red ink. It's kind of funny because on my study guides, I try to make my handwriting look nice, but when I do these active recall sessions, my handwriting looks like chicken scratch. But I guess it's a good thing that I'm becoming a doctor. One thing that's emphasized in PT school is learning outcome measures, which are standard performance-based tests that we give our patients to see where they stand with the rest of the population. The exam questions that are asked are based on patient presentation. For example, what's a test that you would expect to see on the Berg Balance Scale? Or, this patient got a Berg Balance score of 50 out of 56. What can you do to improve it? So I'm using my iPad to look up the cutoff scores for these outcome measures and writing them in the margins of the study guide so I don't have to look them up again for future reference. And it also acts as a little reminder. It's all about making the connections right away for your convenience. Just showing you how I went over interventions for cerebellar disorders. I tried to recall 8 slides of information on my little whiteboard. As you can see, I think I did a pretty good job of recalling most of the PowerPoint based on the proportion of orange to blue marker. As the night goes on, my eyes become strained, so I put on blue light glasses from Amazon. I'll also wear my Beats Solo 3 headphones to help me block out the other noises coming from my house, like my dad watching TV in the living room or my mom cooking dinner. I like to put on some live streams of lo-fi music on YouTube because there's no ads that run in between. I actually created a playlist of all the 24/7 lo-fi live streams I've listened to in the past. You can check that out in the description below. It is now the day of my final, which is this afternoon at 1 p.m. So I spent the morning hours to study my friend's Quizlet set and also my classmate's study guide that she made in an outline format. I found these resources to be helpful because they mentioned some facts that I didn't necessarily include in my study guides. I also wanted to mention that there are so many resources out there that you can use to help you study for your finals, like practice questions and patient cases, as well as other people's Quizlet sets and study guides. But just remember that not all resources are created the same, and therefore not all resources will work out for you. And that's all I have for you guys. Thanks for studying with me. I hope this motivated you to study and gave you some new study techniques that you can incorporate into your own study routine. Let me know in the comments if you like these videos and subscribe to my channel for more PT school related content. I'll see you soon. Bye guys.